Welcome to another episode of Marketing 101 for Chiropractors, where we keep you ahead of the curve, attracting more new patients and growing your business. Now, here's your host, Dr. D himself.
Welcome to another episode of Marketing 101. We have a great guest this week, Charles from Become the Authority. Thanks for being with us and taking some time.
I'm glad to be here. It's good
to meet
it's
everybody. Really cool. Yeah, I love what you do. I mean, we kind of crossed paths. Your team reached out to me and I was like, this is what we need to talk about. Content creation, video is king, how to capture this stuff. And it's exactly what you do across multiple different industries, which is super cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did you get into this? How did you find a passion for this? What do you do now? Where do you see yourself going in the next 5 years with all this stuff?
So this agency was actually born out of COVID. Everybody remembers COVID. And I was working in insurance at the time. I had my own agency, and I was directly responsible for, I believe it was about 10 agents at the time. And when COVID happened, we had to switch from going out and seeing potential clients in person to having to sell to them over the phone. And the way that they were marketing, the phone system they set us up with, the tools that they gave us, it was very janky, very low quality, and there just wasn't a lot of good flow with using it, and our team was struggling with it. And so thankfully, being an agency owner at the time, I had a little bit of pull with the company, and I said, hey, I'm going to go ahead and build out my own marketing system. I'll put my own money into it. I'll do the research. I'll do whatever it takes, but I need to make sure that my team can eat. And so that's when I started diving into things like digital advertising, meta ads, Google ads, CRM setups, automated follow-up, the whole rigmarole, right? Mm-hmm. And as a result, even during a global pandemic, our team was able to still hit record-breaking numbers as an insurance agency. So that was very powerful for me, and people were seeing the results of it, and someone reached out to me and they said, hey, could you build something like this for my business? And I said, sure. And I don't even remember how much I charged them at the time. I know I grossly undercharged myself because I had no idea what I was doing as far as running this as a business. But we wound up setting up an internal marketing system for him. And sure enough, he saw about a 40% growth in his annual revenue after using it for the first year. So we understood just how powerful these systems could be. And for myself, I noticed, wow, I enjoy working B2B. I enjoy working with other business owners, and I can be of real value and service if I take this seriously. And so as a result, I started expanding my services, getting more aggressive with building up the agency, and 3 years later, here we are.
Awesome. Good work. Good work. And the thing I like about you is your focus on, you actually go to the businesses and you capture content for them. So, you're insurance broker, digital agency, videographer, you're doing it all. And that's why I wanted you on the show, is because a lot of healthcare professionals get caught up on the content. We're doctors, right? We go through all this schooling. This was the last thing we thought about 15 years ago or 20 years ago when we graduated, that we'd be doing this crap. And here we are in front of cameras, and we're presenting ourselves as doctors. So we're thinking completely the wrong way. We want to present ourselves as the authority, proof, capture, using way too much wordage, over the head of our clients, over the head of the viewers. We're speaking like doctors. No one wants to hear a doctor talk, right?
No.
So you come on site and be like, hey, listen, just follow me. Let's capture this stuff. I think is really huge. What are some tips that you found across all industries when it comes to capturing content? Let's start there, and we'll get into some cool stuff.
So when it comes to our content strategy, we try to lean towards simple education. Okay. So there's two ways that you can go about content. You can lean towards virality, or you can lean towards genuine customer and client acquisition. Okay. And what we sometimes notice is that people are either not putting out any content at all, or all of the content they're trying to put out is just focused around being trendy, doing the latest sound, maybe getting everyone in your office to do a TikTok dance, things like that. That's not what our team suggests to people. So we don't like having people debase themselves. We like our content to be just boring enough that the ideal prospect is going to sit there, watch it, be interested, and then go down your pathway, but just entertaining enough that it's able to grip them, right? So that's where we focus on good editing, strong hooks, and just sort of like that first 5 to 10 seconds of a video is absolutely crucial because it's going to hook them. So instead of just diving into oh, this is how we can help you fix your back pain, you want to say something like, most people don't know that this is what's wrong with their spine, you know, and now they're like, wait, what's wrong with my spine? So it's just about focusing on hooking people, educating them, and opening the door for them to come and ask you more questions, and then pushing them into your funnel.
I love that. I mean, I love how you see, and this is why I love this podcast. And I learn so much from you guys because I can't see it from my perspective. I love how you divide it into virality, going viral, and structured content, which is two different avenues you can go. And what we look at all the time is we're like, what gets views? And unfortunately for business owners, it's virality. So we're going down, the Jersey Shore guys and seeing what they're doing, and it does not fit the mold for what we need to do. We're not going to dance around and throw whipped cream at each other's faces. Like that's not what's going to catch. But we have to take that idea to grab the attention of our audience because they are being trained at 4 million to 1 on virality content versus us. It's just not there. So, but you hit the nail on the head there with, we want to be boring enough to catch their attention, because that boring content is where your ideal client lies, is that they're sitting there not knowing that the information is coming as they scroll up in the next scroll, where you come up and you say, hey, did you know your spine isn't functioning well?
Yes.
They're like, what? Well, hang
exactly.
on. I think I have a spine issue. My back hurts. Like, I think my spine is in my back, right? I mean, we have to think that way, that people don't know the language we know. As doctors, when we say, do you have degenerative disc disease? People are like, what the heck is that?
Hell
we don't
is
want to
that?
say
Exactly.
that, right? Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. So that's great. So I love that perspective. Now, what's one way with your clients that you help them get that type? I don't even know if you think like this when you're working with them with the viral content. If you walk into a business and you're like, how can we create content that helps this business go viral? I don't even think you overlap the two. Do you?
Viral is not my concern.
Right.
My concern is purely client acquisition, customer acquisition, however you want to put it. And so our content is designed around, again, getting a person's attention who might have a particular problem that we can solve, presenting it to them in a way that gets their attention, right? Like, so instead of just saying, you have degenerative spine disease, whatever it was that you just said, that was a lot. But you could just have a quick zoom in on your face, just say, you've had some back pain lately, haven't you? This might be why, right? And so it's the same sort of content, but you hook them first. So now that gives you the opportunity to get into the exact issue, explain some commonalities around it, and then have a call to action at the end where it's like, hey, you can comment ABC word for us to reach out to you, or click this link and you can book some time with us. We'll give you a free consultation. But our main focus is 100% on customer acquisition when it comes to our content. And that's why I say we like boring content, because we understand that if the content is just a little bit boring, we're not going to get a bunch of tire kickers who are just kind of floating through, and maybe they're interested, maybe they care, maybe they don't. No, these are people that sat down, they watched your somewhat educational, boring video,
Right.
and then they're like, you know what? Yes, I need help with this. So it eliminates a lot of the, we're focusing on not just the customer acquisition, but eliminating a lot of the friction and objections that tend to go into closing a sale. And that whether you're working as a doctor or a landscaper, there's always going to be people who like to quote unquote shop.
Right.
So by eliminating as much friction as possible in the content strategy, and then setting up a really robust funnel that moves quickly and gets people to the next step very smoothly, that's how you're able to start pulling in customers online without a whole lot of back and forth nonsense.
Yes. Love it. Perfect stuff. When you go into the businesses, what's your primary focus of the goal of the content that you're trying to leave with? I mean, each business is different, but try and answer that question. What's your goal from your perspective? Because that's, I think, as a business owner, our perspective when we're trying to shoot our selfie videos of this content ourselves, right?
Yeah. So my goal, and the beauty of this is that I am not a videographer. I'm more of a director, if anything. Okay. So I'm able to defer to my videographer. We're partnered with a local media production company, and that's how we're able to offer the videography and social media services. I'm able to rely on him for things like the visual, the editing, the things like that, right? And I can focus purely on, this is how you should phrase that. These are the sort of hooks you should do, etc. So our goal is to showcase their expertise in a way that is consumable for the average consumer. We, like you said, typically when you're a doctor or a business owner or this or that, you tend to speak in the language of the industry. But
Right.
the people who are consuming our stuff, the people who are using our services or our product or this or that, do not speak the industry language. They just know their back hurts. They just know they need this service performed. And so we have to look at, how can we help you showcase your expertise while at the same time not speak above people. That's where I can help people bridge the gap. So my goal is to showcase the expertise in a way that gets people into the funnel and then pushes them to an appointment with you guys so that you can start doing the things you need to do.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, and you already said the whole funnel in the video of what the structure is, the beginning, the middle, and the end of a video, whether this is a 30-second video or a 30-minute video. The hook at the beginning is what catches them. And then the content in the middle is what captivates them. And then the call to action is just the icing on the cake at the end, because they've watched the whole video. They're like, well, where do I click? What do I do? You know, and in many cases, you don't even have to have a discount. It's just they're in.
They just need to be in. Oh,
yeah,
and this is a pro tip too, since we're on the subject.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and we're seeing this with the algorithms lately, a lot of people are still putting their link for things directly into the status or the caption of the video that they're posting. And the algorithm is deprioritizing that because they want to keep people on the app as long as possible.
Yes, great point. I was going to do a whole podcast on this.
So what you want to do is, instead of putting that link in the caption, you want to put it as the first pinned comment on whatever the video is. So whether you're on LinkedIn, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on Meta, you put it as that first comment, with a call to action right there. And then, of course, you also have it on your page. The other side of what you want to look at doing is adding keyword automations to your Instagram, to your business Facebook, to where you can instruct them to comment a certain word, and then a DM will go out to them with a link that they can click to start getting into your funnel. And the beauty of that is twofold. Number one, you're going to start pulling in customers. But number two, if you're instructing people to leave a comment and they start leaving comments, that's going to tell the algorithm people are interested in what this person is saying. We need to show this to more people.
Perfect. You nailed it. I learned something too. I knew the linking or landing pages or websites that direct off of Meta hit the algorithm in a bad way. They don't like that. They want you to stay in here. That's why a lot of the ads we do are still in forms, because the forms are getting better and better and better, because Meta is actually, it's actually AI now. Meta used to do an algorithm. The algorithm is no longer controlled. The AI is running the algorithm. So, and it's trying to keep them on Meta, not have them leave, which is great. So that is getting better. So it's this yo-yo. I don't know how long you've been doing this, but for over the last 6 years, I mean, it's been like, okay, go to websites, go to landing pages, back to informs, back to landing pages, but because they're always changing crap. Yeah, you got it. But that's cool that you can put the link in the comment, and that you found that that's not affecting the algorithm in a negative way. That's cool. So it's kind of like an aside to that whole rule. That's great. I'm glad you actually you've actually experienced that. So that's awesome. Cool tip there. When it comes to content, because that's why you're on the show, man. I mean, you've been doing this. Is there some type of recipe that works? We're always baking a cake. I've done this show for 3 years. I work one-on-one with chiropractors. I'm like, marketing's always a cake. I don't care if you're gluten-free, if you're using flour, whatever it is, it's the same ingredients every single time. You need egg, flour, and milk to do this, to bake this thing. But the rest is all icing and all the stuff on there. The recipe that works for content that you see that's going, what do you think is the best do-it-yourself way for a lot of chiropractors? Because this is what they're going to digest today. And then hopefully they call you and be like, you know what, this sucks. I'm going to call Charles and he's going to do it for me. That's the whole point. But what's the do-it-yourself way of this when we go into content? Because here's the point. Chiropractors are burnt out. They're like, okay, I'm doing the content stuff. Yes. I've gotten better. And now I'm like, do I just have to keep shooting new videos? The point of this is that you create such good content that you can repurpose it over and over. You get winning ads, you get winning content that just is used for a long time. I have one video I used for 3 years. It's on the intro here, the disc herniation video. I keep getting spinal decompression patients from that video for the last 3 years. I don't have to do anything with it.
So my suggestion lately to people, especially in the wellness space and things like that, has been, I want more of you guys to migrate to YouTube. Now, the reason why I say that, number one, especially when it comes to things like chiropractors, wellness clinics, things like that, right? Folks are actively searching for these problems on Google. Google is directly connected to YouTube. So if you have a library of content that answers a lot of their questions right there on YouTube, that's an amazing top of funnel. Number two, just before we jumped on the call, you brought up, because our main thing is not just marketing. We're marketing and automations. That's what we focus on doing, building out automations that allow for you to do one thing and 20 things happen in the background. And so we were talking about Opus Clip. So if you start posting your walkthroughs on maybe how to decompress your spine, common spine issues, things like that, and you post it on YouTube, you get the software Opus Clip, which is going to take those YouTube videos that you post, automatically begin the process of clipping them, and then set it up to where you can automate the process of posting them to your Facebook, your TikTok, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, etc. So you're able to make one great piece of content for YouTube, and then that piece of content can be turned into 20 and 30 reels that can be posted out to all of your different channels, creating max visibility for your service or offer.
Yep. Love it. Yeah. I mean, let these tools work for you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and I've always been a big fan of YouTube. I've told a lot of chiropractors, because then they're like, oh, how do I go viral on YouTube and make money? I'm like, no. It is your digital library.
Yes.
Make sure you follow the rules and put all the video and store them there, because it's there. It's an easy way. It doesn't clog up your memory banks. It's all there. It's all saved for you. And it's serving a purpose on Google for your SEO. If you tag this stuff properly, you keyword this stuff properly, it's only going to serve you better. Yeah. Exactly. Great point. Great point on that.
And again, virality, and I want to say this, I will say it till the cows come home. For business owners, virality is not the goal.
No.
There are people right now who can tell you how to go viral, and they can make it happen 1,000,000 times out of 1,000,000 times. But the only thing that they're going to get is a few dollars from social media for the viral post. And they're still not going to get any customers in, because what's the point of having a video that gets 1,000,000 views, but all of your viewers are in a bunch of states that you don't work in?
Great point. We have a guy that came into our practice last year. He's still with us, and he runs massage. Okay, kinesiology. I'll give you his link. You go to him. He's approaching 100 million. No, he's approaching 1 billion views a month. He's got about 400 to 600 million views on Instagram a month. And I'm like, how's it going? He's like, yeah, I make like 2,000-3,000 off TikTok, and I'm starting to make some money off Instagram. I'm like, that's pretty cool. Way to go. And he's a massage therapist. We have people in our waiting room from Portugal, Germany, Singapore, Tennessee. We're in Florida, New York, Philadelphia, and they're coming in for 1 or 2 massages. I'm like, what is going on? Like, and he, we thought it was all cool, but now he's burnt out because these people can't come back, right?
No.
He's not building a client base.
Exactly.
And it's like this burnout. And then, but he did the virality path on his Instagram. So he's got the dubbed music in the background, pain points, and he's scraping different muscles all the time. It's great content on Instagram. When you're there, you're seeing someone's calf getting scraped, and he's linking it to like neck pain. He's like, hey, people don't know that Achilles tension can also lead to headaches. And they're like, wait, what? So he's got it mapped out for virality. And unfortunately, when it comes to practice, he's got to think way bigger now. Now he's got to open up clinics all over the world to capture these people, which is, I guess, a great problem. I guess, I don't know. That sounds convoluted to me. But just
going to say, for the average, not so much the average business owner. Yeah. Right. It's like,
many of us can't go to Portugal because
exactly
we don't have the accreditation to go do that or whatever. So anyways, it's bizarre. I mean, he's got like NFL. We have NFL players from all over the league coming in. We got world tennis player. I'm like, this is cool, but I mean, anyways, just virality and where it can go, right? And becoming the authority. I mean, that's just a separate podcast on that. But for you, it's about our content for our business owners. This is great, man. What's something you want to leave us with that that we're going into in 2026? I mean, you're doing the automations, you're doing the flows, you're hitting all the pain points for business owners with capturing content, marketing, getting the lead funnel in, capturing the lead, getting to the lead, and hopefully booking a new client or a new customer. You know it all. Where are we going with this? How is the market responding to marketing? Are we getting text dead yet? People say go to email now. We're not to email now. No one opens emails anymore. Where are we? Where are we going?
I think that we're at a point where people need to think of their marketing as an all-encompassing system. Okay. What we notice is that a lot of people try to itemize it, bit and pieces of it, right? I had one person who was like, oh, Charles, we're getting a much higher conversion rate on our text messages. Why don't we just scrap emails? And what I had to point out to him, because we track everything in our agency, right? I was like, here's this client. Before the client responded and converted via the text message, he opened the emails. He looked at the ads online. we have to think about what's called the rule of 7 for marketing, right? Where you need to touch a person at least 7 times before they transact with you. And so the fastest way to get to that 7 is, of course, they're going to see you online, whether it's a piece of content, a paid ad, something like that. That's touch 1. Come through the funnel, fill out your form. That's touch 2. You send out whatever information to them. That's touch 3. Then how can we get to those remaining 4 touches? Let's text them. Let's email them. Let's create visibility in a bunch of different places so that we look bigger than we might actually be. And so that's going to stick in a customer's mind and say, you know what? These guys are the real deal. I need to at least book a call with them. So you really have to think about how this is an entire system of marketing and build a system around it and not just try to bit and piece things. And then the other thing I want to point out too is don't try to AI yourself to death. Okay. There's a lot of AI stuff out there, and there's quite a few cool things that AI can do. But if you go and talk to the average consumer, again, we have to think we're marketing to the average consumer. The average consumer does not really care for a lot of this artificial intelligence stuff. Like sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's whatever, but you'll do infinitely better shooting a shaky video with rough cuts, selfie style, and posting it online. You'll get more customers and more traction and more trust than you ever will by just putting up a Chat GPT or a Sora video or something like that. Because people are just kind of like, well, this was entertaining, but I don't really trust it.
They don't. They actually are. They don't like it.
They don't like it.
There's almost disappointment.
Yes.
It's getting so good where like the first 3 seconds they're like, whoa, what's going on? And they're like, oh, wait,
is this real? AI. And then it's AI, and then they're irritated.
Yeah, they're like, that's not real. So using that for your business, I think, is a bad idea. I think it's really bad. It's, again, a virality tool, right?
Yes.
I mean, Sora, if you want to go viral, use Sora. I mean,
yeah,
it's hilarious what it can do. No, that's great stuff, man. You definitely know your stuff. If you have any deeper questions, I say reach out to Charles. He looks like someone who will respond to an email. Give him a shout, become the authority. And then we will drop all your handles in there in the podcast thing. Anything you want to leave with or close us out with?
No, I'm excited to speak with all of you. I appreciate you having me on to kind of, to get into some stuff and talk about a few different things.
Because your crew's based in Ohio, right? You're in Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. We do work. Our services, for the most part, are digital, but there are a few states such as Ohio, Nevada, and potentially California here shortly, where we'll be able to offer those videography services. Yes. But yeah, so you'll have all my handles, but if you want to look me up on social media, you can just type in my name. I'm on Facebook. If you type in Charles Craggett, you'll see me sitting next to a tiger. And if you want to find me on Instagram, it's charles.nwm. And then you'll also post the website if you want to get in contact with me. Right now, our website is geared more towards trades-based businesses, but if you're still interested in getting a custom proposal for your business and just seeing what we can do for you, go ahead and fill out that form, walk through it, and we're more than happy to help.
Yeah, that's great. I know some people will definitely at least ask you some questions about how this stuff is all going, or maybe your expertise as well. Thanks for being on the show, man. This was great. You did great.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Take care.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe, like, share, and leave a rating. It helps get our podcast out to more listeners. Also, join Marketing 101 for Chiropractors on Facebook, or visit us at enricod.com for more information on growing and scaling your business.